Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us here for KREM 2 News First at 4. I'm Whitney Ward, anchoring live from home tonight.
And I'm Tom Sherry. Well, face masks are once again required in northern Idaho, and this time not just in Kootenai County, but across the entire Panhandle Health District. This comes after Panhandle Health Board members voted to rescind that mask mandate just last month. Let's get right to KREM 2's Taylor Vido, who has been tracking the story. He brings us the latest from Kootenai County.
Yeah, Tom, it's really been the roller coaster ride for mask mandates here in North Idaho. So basically at the meeting this afternoon, one of the board members of the Panhandle Health District made a motion, I should say, rather, to reinstate the mask mandate. But this time it applies to the entire Panhandle Health District. Those are the 5 northern counties of Idaho. Now, that motion came following, no surprise, discussion of rising coronavirus case numbers and hospitalizations here. Those follow national trends. Just here in the Panhandle Health District, COVID positivity stands at about 17% across the whole district. The Kootenai Health has previously said that they're worried about hitting capacity because of so many coronavirus patients. And local health officials have said the positivity rate here in North Idaho is going up. Now, like before, a couple board members disagreed with the mask mandate. One questioned COVID-19 data, while another said requiring masks just wasn't right and wouldn't solve the problem. One board member actually abstained from the vote, saying he was just fed up with the entire situation. Meanwhile, board member Jay Nelson, who is a former Kootenai County commissioner, proposed reinstating the mandate, arguing it was the board's duty.
It's our job to provide courageous and steadfast leadership in a public health crisis. It's our job to save lives. It's not only our job, it's our mandate in the Idaho Code.
And again, the mandate passed on a 4-2 vote. Like before, there are exceptions for kids, people with medical conditions, and others. At times during that meeting, you could actually hear protesters outside the Panhandle Health Building voicing their opposition. As we've seen before, there are a lot of people who feel strongly against the mandate. This current mask requirement will run for about 2 months. Now, it's also worth making mention that authorities across North Idaho have said that they plan to take an education before citation approach when it comes to not only mask mandates, but also way back in the spring when there was a stay-at-home order for the state of Idaho. It's also worth pointing out that any kind of citations or tickets or anything like that related to anything COVID-19 in North Idaho have been pretty rare. Reporting live in Kootenai County, Taylor Vido, KREM 2 News.
Thank you, Taylor. To tracking the coronavirus, 414 new cases have been reported in Spokane County today. That is our second biggest single-day spike. 4 new deaths, 90 county residents are currently hospitalized, more than 13,800 cases to date. The county recovery rate stands at 65%.
Well, so as those hospitalizations continue to surge, we know that healthcare facilities like Providence and Multicare are also working overtime just to make sure they have enough capacity to care for all of these patients. I did have a chance to speak with the program manager of the Sacred Heart Special Pathogens Unit. Spokane, of course, is the only one in the region with that kind of highly specialized unit for contagious patients. It was built almost 5 years ago, started with grant funding, and at the time, they had no idea how much they would truly need it.
I think, we all thought 5-6 months ago there would be an end in sight. And right now, I think as our cases are higher now than they've ever been, it's just a level of fatigue that we really sense amongst all our healthcare workers.
At the beginning of all of this, that the main goal was to try to keep that curve as flat as possible so that it wouldn't overwhelm the healthcare system. Are you worried about actually reaching capacity to where we are starting to overwhelm the local system?
That was my big question to her. You can hear her answer and the rest of our conversation that's coming up tonight on KREM 2 News at 6. Also today, a Davenport family is grieving the loss of Gene Packmore. He died after contracting the coronavirus. He tested positive back in September and experienced symptoms for several weeks. And while he was in the hospital, he was intubated twice. Now, before the second time, he recorded a video of his battle with COVID and a final message to his family.
If you're listening to this, I might be gone already.
He touched a lot of people's lives, and he was a good father, a good grandfather, and a friend to all.
Wow. The Navy veteran died on October 14th. His partner spoke with our Amanda Rowley. That story is coming up next as they plead for the community to take this virus seriously. Again, that story tonight coming up on KREM 2 News at 5 o'clock. All right, let's talk weather now as we turn our attention back to Tom Sherry. Kind of another cool gray day here today. Not overly cold, but do temperatures seem like they're starting to take a dip?
Yeah, they are beginning to get dipped down closer to what we would consider average weather. But gosh, you know, right there, it's 41 degrees. That's the average daytime high for this time in November. But keep in mind, I am tracking some sunshine tomorrow and even a little bit on Saturday. So not so bad there. And the wind has died down a bit, too. You saw the wind out of the west-southwest at 10 miles per hour. Most of eastern Washington is dry. We do have a few showers, though, moving across Spokane County, especially down into the Palouse in southern Spokane County. And that's all tracking to the east. And then by the time you get into eastern Kootenai County, you begin to see some of that shower activity there with snow falling at the higher elevations in Shoshone County. We'll look for partly cloudy skies this evening and overnight with a low of 31. And then tomorrow, mostly sunny skies expected on your Friday. Look for a daytime high of 45. We're closing in on the weekend, ladies and gentlemen. I've got mostly sunny and 42 on Saturday. Cold overnight low into Sunday morning at 27. And then we'll look for increasing clouds Sunday with a daytime high of 40 degrees. We'll track the rest of your 7-day forecast, all coming up in a few minutes. Whitney?
All right, sounds good, Tom. Thank you so much. The suspect who's been charged in connection to a fatal downtown stabbing in early October made his first court appearance today. Spokane police have arrested 36-year-old Gary Norman for second-degree murder. That's for the stabbing death of Anthony Vornhender. That was back in October, as we said. And at first, he refused to come to court this afternoon, but did eventually make his appearance. The judge kept his bond at $1 million.